Hey, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Justin, and my wife Julie and I are full-time resellers. And I'm making some videos going back to July, just going over our sales every day. And we sell a pretty wide variety of things, so I just wanted to go back and kind of make a video every couple days and show the sales. So we're going back to July 2nd right now, and our first sale is this Clinique lipstick. This came from the Genie storage unit. Julie talked a lot about it in our last video, so if you want to see more about that unit, you can go back and watch that. This sold for $20, and there was a lot of vintage makeup in the unit, and it basically paid for the whole unit just in the makeup that was in there. All right, next up is this Free People kimono. This sold for $15.29. It came from the bins for 90 cents. This vintage Stoney's beer plaque also came from the Genie unit. It sold for $24.99. Estee Lauder perfume spray sold for $18.69, also from the Genie storage unit. Now this Olga bra sold for $21.24, and it came from a church sale. Actually, it was the last day of a church sale, and you paid $10 to go in and take as much stuff as you wanted. So Julie and I both paid the $10, so we were $20 into it, but we got really a whole van load of stuff, and we ended up selling a lot of it at the flea market and got a lot of eBay stuff from it too. So that was definitely a nice pickup. Next up are these Lucky Brand jeans. These came from the bins. We paid $2.25 for them, but they actually were mine. I wore them for a long time, and then when I cleaned out my closet, I just gave them to Julie to sell. They sold for $8.08. Now we're going on to July 3rd. First thing is this vintage killer whale minifigure, like glass minifigures. These came from a Debbie storage unit, and they sold for $18.99. Now we have this Offline by Aerie sweatshirt. It sold for $14.02, and this was a 99-cent day pickup at either Salvation Army or Goodwill. This vintage Commandments plaque, it's like a wooden decorative plaque, sold for $17. This also came from the Genie storage unit. Also from Genie is this Estee Lauder blush, sold for $18.69. Now this Visions 4-quart cranberry roaster, I picked up at a yard sale for $1, and it sold for $35. I guess this is kind of a rare yard sale pickup. We just don't have a lot of good yard or community sales in our area. This one was close to me, so I decided to go check it out. But we have traveled a lot in the Pittsburgh area and just usually come up pretty empty at yard sales and community sales. I don't know, like in your area, if you do better, you can let us know in the comments. But I guess for our area, we just don't do that well with them. The flea markets in our area aren't really that great for sourcing either. I know a lot of areas of the country you have really good flea markets, but ours just, I don't know, for some reason they just aren't great for sourcing for eBay. We have sourced some at retail thrifts when we were doing a lot more clothing. We would mainly go on our Salvation Army and Goodwill and St. Vincent have one day a week where things get marked down to 99 cents. So we would buy clothes for 99 cents, but we really have moved away from clothes. So, we don't do much with retail thrifts. I stop into Goodwill a lot, but it's very rare to find something. I think they really know anything that's worth picking up is really marked up to that it doesn't make sense to pick up there. We had done a lot at the bins, but our bins really kind of went through some management changes, and we used to source really primarily there, but things just changed around so much that they weren't putting out anything. They were just pulling back everything to go on, I guess, Shop Goodwill, and there just wasn't much coming out that was worth it for us to pick up. Church sales are something we definitely do well in our area, but they're not consistently happening. So whenever we do find a church sale, we definitely will check it out if it's not too far away. We mainly have moved our sourcing to buying like storage auctions now, but that's extremely competitive in our area and probably in most areas just from watching other YouTubers that do it. They can get bid up really high and it's risky and there's a lot of garbage and a lot of furniture. So we've been moving to selling some stuff on Marketplace too. So it's been a real transition, and that's why we've taken such a big like break from YouTube to kind of adjust to this new way of sourcing. That's a little bit just about our sourcing and where we're at with it right now. So back to the sales. Let's see. On July 3rd, the last sale is this Clinique lipstick. It sold for $11.99. Also, that came from the Genie unit. Okay, and on to July 4th now. And the first sale are these Clark's ballet flats. They sold for $18 and they came from the Genie storage unit. Adriana Papel dress sold for $12. This was a pickup for 99 cents at either Goodwill or Salvation Army. Next up, these denim 24/7 animal print pants. They are from a storage unit that we call the Home Shopping. It was someone that bought a lot of like CVS type stuff, like Shopaholic, and everything was like new in package in there, just in bins. These pants sold for $12.74. Next up is this Pampered Chef Easy Care decorating tool. This came from actually a free pickup. We always watch like especially on Saturday and Sunday for people to put up free stuff like at the end of a yard sale, and this came up really close to our house, so I went and checked it out and got a few free things. This sold for $12.99. Next up is this Clinique lipstick. It sold for $8 and that is from the Genie storage unit. These woman within sweatpants sold for $14.24 and they are also from the home shopping unit. And last up we have this Estee Lauder lipstick. It sold for $22.09 and was from the Genie storage unit. I did end up stopping in at the bins a couple days ago because we hadn't been able to buy a storage unit, so I just figured I'd go and check it out and see how things are going. I hadn't been there for a couple months, but I did okay. I got a few things and I can put a clip in here of what I picked up. Haven't been to the bins for a long time, but stopped in today and I got 2 American Girl dolls, a GameCube controller, and a bag of Lego like Technics and Bionicles for $9. And I also got this whole van load of stuff from a free Facebook Marketplace pickup, so I can give you a closer look at what we sorted out once I got it home and Julie had time to kind of like triage it. So here's the stuff that she ended up pulling for eBay. There's this set of Cutco knives that was in it. These are some Fallsgraf dishes. There was an entire set, but these were the only pieces that were actually worth listing on eBay. There's some Corel mugs in here, some more Corel bowls, these Federal Glass blue mugs, and we ended up donating a couple boxes of stuff, and there is some furniture that I can show you too. Here's the furniture I picked up for free. There's a couple of these vintage chairs that look to be in decent shape, like they're not ripped. There's this old school desk with cast iron legs. This little table, like probably mid-century, lifts up and just a nice little piece. There's a bar cart here, which we've done okay selling like vintage bar carts. And then there's also this like older swivel chair. I ended up taking this old desk apart because it looks like these legs are going to be more valuable to sell on eBay than it would be for me to try and sell this desk locally. So The name on them is Chandler, and there were some good comps. Looked like maybe $100 plus shipping I could possibly get for these legs. I just wanted to make sure that I could adjust them and look them over good, make sure there's no cracks, and they seem to be good. This other cast iron piece was in with some miscellaneous stuff from the free pickup. Looks like it could be a foot from like an old cast iron tub, so I'll have to do a little more research and see if it's worth selling on eBay. So I definitely got some interesting stuff in this pickup. It seemed like they were moving the people and they just were getting rid of some stuff. They may have sold it like an antique mall or something at some point. So, they just wanted to get rid of the stuff, and I saw it and was able to get there fast enough to pick up some decent stuff. All right, so I'm going to wrap this video up now, and thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one.